The humidity of Zanzibar clung to the skin like a shroud, thick with the smell of cloves and the distant stale scent of the Indian Ocean. Inside the British consulate, Major Alistair Finch, a man whose face was etched with the anxieties of 3 colonial postings, wiped a bead of sweat from his brow. The air was a stagnant soup, yet his own energy was a frantic, buzzing generator. 38 minutes, gentlemen, he muttered, more to himself than to the 3 junior officers assembled around the heavy, dark mahogany map table. 38 minutes is all we have to prevent a full-scale catastrophe. Our information is firm. The Sultan's palace guard, reinforced by loyalists to the usurper Khalid bin Bargash, will attempt to seize the telegraph station at midnight. If they cut that line, we are isolated. Zanzibar sinks into chaos. The empire will not stand for it. He stabbed a finger at a spot on the oversized map, illuminating the intricate winding alleyways of Stone Town. The palace, as you know, is the center of the storm. Khalid believes the sheer audacity of his coup, seizing power the moment Sultan Hamad died, will paralyze us. He thinks the Rattlesnake and the other cruisers are mere decorations. We must disabuse him of that notion, and swiftly. Lieutenant Edward Thorne, a young, impeccably dressed man barely out of Sandhurst, cleared his throat nervously. Major, the official position is that an ultimatum has been issued. We demand Khalid stands down by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Why the urgency tonight? Finch's blue eyes, usually sharp and penetrating, narrowed with fatigue. Because, Lieutenant, the official position is for public consumption. The real position is that the Rattlesnake has detected a clandestine move. Khalid is positioning 2 obsolete but functioning 9-pounder cannons to target the anchorage at dawn. If we wait until 9 a.m., we risk losing 1 or more of our ships and the entire political advantage. Our timeline just collapsed. He picked up a small folded piece of parchment, its wax seal bearing the distinctive crest of the Foreign Office. This arrived 30 minutes ago via a runner from Dar es Salaam. It's an informal authorization, thinly veiled, from the most senior levels. Neutralize the threat immediately. They cannot afford another costly, drawn-out war on the continent. This must be a sharp, surgical strike, a show of overwhelming force concluded before the sun rises. The mission, Operation Lightning Strike. Finch unrolled a new tactical diagram. Thorne, your unit, Delta 1, comprises 20 of the most seasoned Marines from the Philomel. Your objective is the telegraph station, designated Target Alpha. You move through the back alleys, utilizing the cover of the midnight prayer calls. You take the station, secure the equipment, and under no circumstances fire unless fired upon. We need that line operational for international reporting the moment we fire the opening salvo. Yes, Major, Thorne replied, his voice firm despite the tremor in his hands. Captain Davies' unit, currently aboard the St. George, will initiate target Beta, the Royal Harbor. They will deliver the official ultimatum, but their real function is a diversion. Keep Khalid's men focused on the sea. Davies knows the drill, aggressive posturing, no landing until the time is ripe. Finch paused, his gaze sweeping over the map, settling on a small area just behind the palace walls. And I, he stated, his voice dropping to a gravelly register, I have the most delicate task. The clock begins ticking at exactly 00 hours, not a second later. I will be heading inland to meet our asset. Her name is Zara. She is the late Sultan's most trusted advisor's daughter, and she knows where Khalid has stored the palace's entire gunpowder reserve, enough to level half of Stone Town if mishandled. My mission is to neutralize that reserve before the fighting starts. But Major, Thorne interjected, confusion clouding his features. If we disarm the reserve, what is the point of the naval show of force? Why risk your life for an internal demolition? Finch gave a tired, cynical smile. Because, Lieutenant, the shortest wars are not won by the biggest guns, but by the smallest acts of sabotage. We are not just fighting Khalid, we are fighting the international perception of British weakness. 38 minutes. That is the exact time we predict it will take for the cruisers to silence his major cannons once the ultimatum expires and they open fire. If we can trigger a smaller, contained secondary explosion at the exact moment the naval bombardment begins, the war won't just be over in 38 minutes, it will be a fait accompli in 10. A demonstration, not a battle. He pushed a small, battered leather pouch across the table. This contains the detonators and the timer. Set it for exactly 005, 5 minutes after the main action begins. Thorne, you take point. Good luck, Lieutenant. May God have mercy on us all. As the officers dispersed into the night, Finch felt the weight of history press down upon him. He adjusted the revolver holstered to his belt and stepped out of the consulate, disappearing into the oppressive, moonlit labyrinth of Zanzibar's ancient capital. The clock was ticking down to either a spectacular victory or a historical disaster, all to be decided in the time it took to boil a pot of tea.